It's been a little over a month since the PC version of GTA Online finally got the anti-cheat system that it desperately needed added to the game. Initially, I had my gripes with it, as after 6 hours everything was back to how it was. But to Rockstar's credit, they have been releasing patch after patch over the last month to try to improve the anti-cheat system with every single one of these patches. And I'm happy to say that so far, it seems that it has been really giving a rather positive effect to the game overall. I asked you guys on the community page on the YouTube channel as well as on Twitter to kind of get a grasp of what everyone's consensus was with this anti-cheat system and how the experiences have been. I've been kind of keeping a pulse on it myself by doing anti-cheat system streams where I would go on stream and just stream in public lobbies and basically put a gigantic target on my back, because if there's one thing that you'll probably can do to test the anti-cheat system is by basically going like, hi guys, I'm a streamer, you could crash me and you get a reaction, because that's something that you really like, right? And then they crash my game and then it's like, yeah, it's still not quite there yet, which obviously happened in about 3 or 4 streams, and I was like, okay, back to PlayStation I go, or invite only sessions. However, last night I streamed in public sessions for about 2 hours on PC and I didn't get crashed once, which is rather weird to me. And the only reason why I stopped playing is an issue that I'll touch on towards more of the end of the video. I'm sure many of you all probably already know what I'm talking about. The general consensus though from the responses that did get is positive. Many folks are saying that they've seen a massive reduction within the amount of hackers, cheaters, modders in the game. Obviously griefers are still a thing, but you know, that's just a game feature at this point. The initial drop in modders didn't seem to be necessarily the thing, but when Rockstar decided to swing that big old hammer around and started banning everyone, that's when people started really noticing a massive difference. And I think it's also because of that massive ban wave and basically Rockstar signaling, yeah, if you're gonna enter online with a mod menu and BattlEye sees you, you're going to get banned. So I think it's with that modding and using mod menus in GTA Online has significantly increased when it comes to the amount of risk that there is with using said mod menu in the PC version of the game. However, there are 3 major drawbacks to the anti-cheat system that a month later have not been addressed or fixed, aside from one that's been addressed, but we haven't heard anything from it since. 1. Linux. Linux users have been also mentioning within said responses as well that they're unable to play with their friends anymore, or they're unable to play at all. This is something that Rockstar has yet to address at all, and if they're going to fix it, remains to be seen. 2. Steam Deck. A lot of folks also are avid Steam Deck users, but they are now unable to play the game on their Steam Deck because of aforementioned anti-cheat patch that seemingly has just thrown mod into the whole thing. They have addressed this, and they said that they've been working with Steam to try to work around and fix this, but nothing has been said or done about it so far. And 3, which is my personal biggest gripe with this whole thing, the noticeable performance drop since the patch. With each and every patch, it kinda also seems to get worse too. I have seen a reduction in my frames from about 80 to 100 all the way to 30 to about 50. I have a 4090. Why the fuck am I getting 30 FPS in a 2015 game? Now I know I'm coming across like, I am the big streamer, I got the 4090. And I know it's coming across as arrogant, but I don't mean to sound like I am being arrogant. I'm just simply frustrated with the fact that anyone who has a PC that is more than capable with handling said game, which at this point, I don't know, let's have a look at the minimum requirements. Required a quad-core CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA 9800, with the recommended specs being an i5 3rd gen and a GTX 660 2 gigs. 2 gigs! I have 24 in mine! Why are my frames so dog shit? Now, if Rockstar will address these frame issues, I have kind of got my questions about that, considering the fact that the PS4 version and the Xbox One version of the game are still going strong with at most 20 FPS in public lobbies, at least from my testing back in 2020. So, you know, you can only assume that it's got worse. But, you know, they removed the Rockstar editor, so I'm sure that really helped a bunch. I'm hoping that their fix for the PC version of like increasing frames is not going to be, oh, we'll just remove the Rockstar editor, because that would be silly. Regardless, it's been an overall positive experience. There are some folks, of course, that have some issues with the kernel level anti-cheat, and while I get that, at the same time, anything else but kernel level at this point is probably not going to do anything. We've seen it's not working for every other game, and basically every decent and or good anti-cheat at this point is all kernel level. So unfortunately, there's people that really like to cheat in video games, and if you don't want that, then I guess you're not playing online games anymore. Sadly, it's not the fault of the developers, it's a fault of the people that play the game. I mean, that's at least my opinion. Personally, I don't have big issues with it. I understand people's concerns, but at the same time, it is what it is. Now, to say that the battle has been completely won by Rockstar would be disingenuous, I feel. Obviously, one of the largest mod menus around has gone open source, and that can mean two things. Either they've completely given up, or they have basically gone, screw it, we've made our millions and millions and millions of dollars. Someone else can go figure this shit out while we go on a vacation and enjoy our millions and millions of dollars. Which, you know, fair enough, I guess. If I were them and I made all my money and it seemingly is going to be a lot more difficult to get these mod menus to actually work, go on, take the money and run. But at the same time, there's still a lot of money at stake, so there really is still a very big incentive for these mod menus to continue on with their cheating ways. Although there remains to be a question to be had whether or not most folks will still be inclined to use said mod menus, for the simple fact that the cost of these will probably go up, the amount of effort that it requires to acquire them, and especially the risk of getting banned has gone up exponentially. You gotta wonder, is using a mod menu in GTA Online still worth it? Some folks probably say, yeah, I'm sure, but as far as I'm aware, so far everything has just been account bans and not hardware bans, which if they start dashing those out, it's a whole different ballgame. And on top of the fact that with the latest patch, the mod menu users are not able to join public sessions anymore, because if they try to do that, they get an error. You got yourself quite a bit of a task at hand for those mod menu makers before they start, being able to go back to their old ways. Which brings me to the conclusion that the anti-cheat patches so far have been a net positive for the PC version of the game, and I honestly say that Rockstar has done a pretty good job here. The battle is not over just yet. I'm sure that the mod menu makers will not stop until there's absolutely nothing possible anymore, and the money that they're making with it has completely dried up. And until then, Rockstar still seems to be working on it even a month onwards, and I'm sure with some more patches and some more fixes, more stuff will be done. And overall, I'm quite happy to say that. And maybe in the future, if they have some spare time, they could look into those frames, because I don't think that I ever wanted to play the game more on console than I did on PC, and had less frames than I did on the console. That's something that needs to be addressed. But with that said, that's it for this one. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and become a member like Chloe, GTA Plus, and Notorious Jam. And I'll see you all later.